Hey y'all, John here. Let's code some open source. Today we'll work on the Latterly website. On the password login today, if you go to reset your password, there is not a rate limit here. So a denial of service can happen where if someone triggers this a bunch of times, they can exhaust the emails that I have with my email API provider. The good news is that the email API provider I'm using Resend for email, and it's on a free tier. The bad news is that even though there's not a cost risk, it denies service to my users. So that's a total pain. So we need to fix that. So this is what we use in the Latterly repo. It's all open source. You can check it out. Where's some of that code? Oh, actually, I'm using Postmark. I lied to you. Postmark. So here's the Postmark API key as an environment variable. And where's this guy used? We'll get this Postmark client. And here's the forgot password mailer. This is all TypeScript. In case you're wondering, TypeScript is JavaScript with types. So export async function, this is looking like normal JavaScript, right? But then you get this colon, and here's a type. And you can see that type is defined up here. Okay. So I have pulled the latest from main, and I'm on this DDoS fix 583 branch. That 583 comes from this. I need to link it. It comes from this GitHub issue. And then because I'm bad, I added one extra commit that's unrelated, but we won't talk about that. It's a minor UX thing. Okay. All right. So whenever we merge this, it will close that GitHub issue. And if we have other time, we'll work on some other stuff too. I'd like to blog interview reflection techniques. So Latterly will teach you all about how to get an interview and pass an interview. One thing that I don't have a blog article on is when you do a mock or a real interview, it's going to be a good idea to reflect on that and to try to understand how you did well, where you could improve so that you can continuously improve throughout your job search. So that'll be a nice blog article. I might add it during the stream or it might be later. Keep an eye out for that on the Latterly blog. You can get to the Latterly blog, latterly.io/blog. And you can sign up at the Discord for free. You can sign up for the website for free. Check it out. Okay, so let's get into this issue. So I would like to be able to run this locally. I don't know if it's going to work. npm run dev. Let's see. I might need to push into staging to test the rate limit is effective. Welcome in. I see a couple people joining the stream. You can tap the like button. If you're on TikTok, you can do it multiple times. That'll help the algorithm send it around. Feel free to drop a question in the chat if you have any. I don't know if the X comments work. So you might come over to YouTube, the Latterly YouTube channel, if you want to see, if you want to be able to add comments to the live. Maybe I should add YouTube to the footer. That might be a good idea. Okay. All right. So here's localhost. It's working fine. npm run dev is working. I have cursor open. And I'm going to start by adding the AI instructions. And let me control P to make sure I get the right one. So this is Latterly IO AI instructions. I can do fuzzy typing. This is the script to create the instructions. And here are the Copilot instructions, they're called. Good thing I checked. I can just drag that over to this new chat window. I'll use the Composer 1 model. This came out with Cursor 2. I really like it. Otherwise, GPT-5 is cool. 4.5 Sonnet, great. And I do like Gemini 2.5 Pro as well, but I'm going to be going with this Composer 1. Let me also, in a different terminal, just make sure that my instructions are up to date. So the Latterly 3 repo, I think I have the make file right here. Yeah, so I'll make instructions. It looks like that did change this file. I'm not sure how much. Okay, just like a couple lines. That shouldn't change much. But you can see I did delete a couple scripts. Yeah, so it's a little bit better. We've got the leak code 75 hard. Don't forget to practice those hard leak code problems if you really want to get good. Okay, so I have these instructions open. I'd like to add rate limiting to password reset. Forgot password mailer. Okay, I'll drag that file open. We'll start with that, and then I'll ask it if I should add rate limiting elsewhere. Okay, great. It automatically went to the auth. Whoa, it really changed a lot of stuff over here. A lot of that looks like formatting. Yeah, changing double quotes to single quotes. That's fine. Let's keep scrolling through, make sure nothing crazy was changed, remove semicolons. That's all formatting stuff. I think that's all fine. And I deleted a comma and resaved to show that these are my own formatter on save changes. The model is not actually making all these changes. So this is just a file that's kind of old that I haven't really messed with. So here's the forgot password. This is TRPC, forgot password mutation. And we're getting the user, a lot of stuff we did previously. But now it's going to do a rate limit. So I'll stage that. That looks good. Stage my new instructions as well. And now I'm going to ask, I'll click keep all. Now I'm going to ask, should I rate limit other endpoints as well? Assume we want to rate limit against a guest only. Okay, so it's making a generic rate limit utility. Shout out to Django. This is actually a pretty simple middleware in Django. We'll see how simple it is in TRPC. Okay, so it's refactoring this auth.ts to use the utility. So these will be two different commits then. So here, this will be feature rate limit pass reset. All right, and then I'll close all of these and reopen just to see the recent diff. So we're importing that rate limiter we defined, and this file is completely new. Okay, but let's assume it's well formed, and then we'll check that in a second stage. So auth router, validate credentials is going to rate limit, good. So this would be if someone is not resetting their password, they're simply signing in. So if I go to login, you can see I can do sign in with Google or here. So now we're adding rate limiting to this login with email button. So that seems good. It's just some spacing changes, allow maximum of 3 per hour. That seems reasonable to me. It seems reasonable to me. I'd like that to be a kind of like generic variable instead of hard-coded there. Here's max attempts again, check guest rate limit. So there, we've made it generic. So I wonder why it's not doing the generic thing in the other case. Max attempts, we can default to 3. So I might instruct them all to default this to 3, and then I won't have to set it explicitly in the other case, I think. So it looks like just sign up and log in, and then the reset is handled separately. Is that what's going on? Yeah, forgot password. Okay. And I'll phrase this as a question because it might have a good reason to do otherwise. Should we default max attempts to 3 inside the generic utility function. Would this allow us to reuse the generic utility for the sign or for the forgot password case as well? Or would we still need a local explicit max resets per hour 3? So the goal here is just to simplify the code. And it seems to agree. So the red lines here more than the green lines is good. That's what I was trying to accomplish. Okay, uses default max 3. I could get rid of that line of code as well. And the total lines, we dropped about 15 lines there, which is great. Simple code is good code. I'm going to delete that extra comment. So we'll stage these, not quite ready to commit yet. Let's go review the code one more time. Well, it is a little verbose on the comments, but they all seem to be helpful. Rate limiting utility for guests only. Seems good to me. I'll say check other TRPC endpoints besides auth-related endpoints. Are there other public endpoints that should be rate limited? So here, this feature will be the guest rate limit, and I'll remake the instructions because I've made this one new file. You should see one file difference here. So here's source server utils rate limit. That looks good to me. Get through some error there. Not sure what that error is. Now it is thinking that it should rate limit on a specific IP address. I don't know that that's right. So a B, what's that thing called? Like a DDoS coming from different IPs, basically. Okay, chat. It's going to rate limit the chat. That's good. It's going to go by user ID. Chat should be authenticated, though. Chat, well, I guess I have a limit of 3. Okay, this is a different feature. This is interesting. So I would like the chat to be available publicly, but it should have a limit. After a few chats, it should say, like, you should sign up for more. No, it'll be fine to limit them all. So let's reverse the chat rate limiting and simply require authentication for chat. Good, and that's fully reversed the rate limit changes. That's what I like to see. Now let's go look at the chat. So good news and bad news here for you, chat. You will now need to actually sign up at Latterly to use the free tier chat feature, but that's good for security. So now this is a protected procedure. I'm going to go ahead and look at this file. We've got Gemini 2.0 Flash. So I want to try out using 2.0 Flash. And I don't want temperature to be configurable. Protected procedure. Yep. Okay. Good. Pretty simple change. We just made it a protected procedure. Security upgrade for the win. All right. So now the localhost is reloaded. Let's see if I can get to the chat. And it should block me because I'm not logged in. Okay. All right. So here is we're just on localhost. Here's the blog article. Latterly Copilot. Sign up or log in to continue. Very good. And I don't think that you can access the legacy chat. I think it's always this Copilot. What if I go to chat? Cannot be found. So where is this chat router even called? We expose the chat router. I think this is an unused endpoint. .chat. Oh, we use it for the story generator. Okay, good. Good. This is definitely intended to be a private method. So I'm glad it caught that. So what the story generator is, let's log in. I'll sign in with Google. And then we'll come back and we'll test the sign in ourselves. This might not work, actually. Okay, I need to use the email based. I forgot. I forgot. Okay, forgot which user to use. Okay, so here when I make this career journal, if I sign in, if I make a bunch of career journal entries, then I can use the content generator. And the story generator is the content generator, basically. So I can go over here and ask it to make some stuff based on my journal entries. That's what it does. It'll send my journal entries to the language model and say, hey, make something. Let's see if we should try to use it. Generate AI-powered content from your journal entries. Added rate limiting to pass reset security. So we'll call this a win. I'll say that the happiness is 7. This is career related. Cool. All right. So let's look for security over here and see if this will work. It's going to try to make let's do a social media post for LinkedIn. Look at that. It works. I wasn't actually sure if it was going to work. Just implemented rate limiting. Dig it. Okay. Yeah, I'll post this on X. Why not? So you can get a little sense of the value of that thing. If I had a bunch of journal entries that were like related to my job or career or whatever, I could ask it to make a star method anecdote as well. So that's a great feature you can take advantage of. All right, let's try to mess this thing up. So I'm going to use my wrong password. Okay, so I think the reason I never would have been DDoS'd before is the password's wrong. Unauthorized, yeah. I'm not too bothered by that. It's still going to hit my server a bunch of times. So upgrade generative model and privatize the chat endpoint. What will happen if a malicious user tries to log in many times with an invalid user pass combo? Currently, they get 401, but is it draining my my server anyway. Should we rate limit prior to checking past validity? May or may not be an issue. We'll see what it does. I'll need to wait to see what it does. If it wants to change the code, it's going to hot reload. Simplified error handling. Love to see that. All right, let's go review what it did. Seems like a pretty small change. Check guest rate limit, allow 5. Nope, we can go with 3. That'll be fine. Window MS, 1 hour. That should be generic. Yeah, it defaults to 1 hour anyway. It already defaults to 1 hour, so this is unnecessary. So here I have I have 2 auth TS. Why do I have this? I think this is right. So we have the default session. Inside of the providers. This one is for integrating SSO. That's what this one is for. Okay, so we're validating at 2 levels. That doesn't bother me. 30 minutes. That's going to be when your pass reset expires. That's fine. Okay, so this looks good to me. So what did we do? We did rate limit before expensive operation, database query, and password verification. All right, so I should be able to verify that now, and I'll get some 401s, and then I should get a different message. I'm still seeing 401 in my server logs. That's actually fine with me. Okay, so it's erroring out in the next handler, and therefore it becomes to 401. Converts all errors from authorized to 401. So this might be a weakness of the composer model. It's actually fine that it throws 401. I just wanted to know if it was intentional. This is expected. That's fine with me. If it was expected, why did you change the code? Okay, so now it will either revert the code or explain why it's doing this anyway. Okay, this is actually simplifying my code. It's saying next auth expects null for failed auth. Only catch unexpected errors. Only catch unexpected errors from verify password, not auth failures. Let's see, I could go either way on this change. What do you think, chat? Should I keep it or revert it? It is reducing my lines of code, so that's nice. But these old TRPC errors, invalid credentials, they were a little more informative, weren't they? Okay, so we're being less informative. Is that a security benefit? Now I'm not going to tell you that the credentials were invalid. I guess that's good because someone could do like a dictionary attack. I mean, I'm rate limiting them, but they could still do a dictionary attack. I guess this is good. The other change, instead of throwing TRPC, follows next conventions, but if you prefer throwing errors, we can revert that too. Let's see. So it's putting the ball in my court. Rate limiting happens before expensive operations, which protects your server. That's good. I'm okay with this. I'm okay with this. Let me just verify right here. So do we think it is slightly more secure that we no longer disclose, what is the message? Like invalid password or something. This is kind of a bummer because we're trading off security for user experience, but security wins, right? Yep, it's slightly more secure. Okay, all right, I'm sold. Feet, don't tell invalid credentials. All right, so now let's go over here. And I won't be able to tell the difference in theory. Credentials, sign in. Now the user gets a string credentials sign in when there's an error. I would like them to see as the generic or error. Okay, so that's why we did it, so we could explicitly get that message. And I will say dry the message. So we should extract out these 3 lines here. That should net us fewer lines. So I'm seeing 277 to 282, so it's a net increase. Okay, I think this is fine. Even though we dried it up, we are netting this many more lines. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, so that looks good to me. All right, let's try this. Good. So the user experience is what I expect. I would like rate limiting errors logged on the server explicitly, though the UX should not change. Like I want to be able to see here on the server side that it was rate limiting related. Now I'll get a console.warn. Okay, let's go see that. 1, 2. Do I see it yet? I don't see it yet. Good. Now 3, 4, 5. Now I should see it. I'm copying this. I still don't. Oh, this could be just swallowing from TRPC. I still don't see the rate limit error logged in my dev server. Is this expected? Maybe I have log config above warn. I don't think I do because all this jibber jabber from the query select, I think that's info level logs. Okay, let's see what changed. Now the log is coming from the rate limit utility itself. Good. Okay, so maybe the warn was just in the wrong place. So I try it once, and do I see the error? Nope, I don't see it, and that is okay, I think. One, 2, 3, 4. Seems like there's some TRPC caching going on. I still don't see it. Am I just missing it? If TRPC is swallowing the log, let's just remove it. Okay, all right. So there's a chance that I'm like reading the logs too fast and just missing it, but it's confirming that it's just not showing up. So that is a difference between open source and commercial, right? In a commercial setting, I would be sending this off to a different logger. It would be more observable, but here I don't have the luxury of having a distinct logger. So sometimes I cut logs. Sometimes I cut logs. Okay, let's try to reset. Reset. Let's see. In this case, I would like the rate limit to be mentioned. So here's the forgot password form. I'm expecting it will be inside of a page, but this seems to be not showing up in use. Forgot password form. Let's go here. Forgot password. Control P page. Forgot pass page. I don't have the, yeah, now it's app. App forgot password. Here is the forgot password page. So the page doesn't use the form at all, it seems. Yeah. So maybe we can delete this form. It seems that the forgot pass page doesn't use the forgot pass form at all. If this is the case, let's delete the unused form. So it's going to verify for me, but I'm pretty sure that's true. Thanks for joining. Feel free to like the video and follow the page if this is interesting to you. All right, so we deleted that form. In the pass reset case, I think it's fine and secure to let the end user know when they have tried to reset too many times. If you agree, update the log, update the response if needed to show this info. If a rate limit message is already sent, then no change is needed. Okay, so it's giving sorry we had an unexpected error, and now it's going to use the form error message if appropriate. And that is the cool. All right, so we give it the default one. Otherwise, it will give this more explicit one on this reset case specifically. So let's try this now. All right, so I'll try this 5 times. So first it succeeds. I'm going to go back, try a bunch of times. Too many. Awesome. Okay, so the rate limiting is effective. All right, y'all, that completes today's stream. The blog article that I talked about, I'll do that after the stream. I don't want to bore you with the blogging. And here we have a nice log. TRPC for the win, and Cursor and Composer 1 model all winning. Yours truly also winning, Latterly winning. Sign up for free, latterly.io. Talk to you later.